I'm Andy Steuer. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Composer, and I'm going to walk through a little bit around content marketing. We had a webinar yesterday. Not sure if any of you joined. If you did, it's great to have you back here. If you didn't, we'll hopefully go through a few things. It'll be educational for you, and I want you to walk away with some good knowledge bombs here that I can throw at you. So here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about content marketing and how content can help you grow your business. Let me just start from the top before we jump into anything. What we do is we help our clients tell their company story. Every company has a story to tell. And what happens most of the time is that everybody gets busy. There's a lot to do in growing your business. And people are challenged with stopping and writing blog content or social media content. And it just kind of gets pushed to the side because you're focusing on other things. The reason why content is important is because content is essentially the connective tissue between you and your customer when they come to your website. So, whether it's a referral and somebody goes and checks you out, or whether you just have traffic coming to your website, you want to create a great customer experience in that moment. And content provides that great customer experience and provides knowledge and information for your client so that they can learn a little bit about who you are, what you do, and why they should work with you. Content, when we kind of like say, okay, well, what kind of content are we talking about? Content that you create that is educational in nature is the kind of content that we want to be able to talk about. People have questions. They go to Google. They type in a question, they land on your website. They're looking for answers. So when you create content where you ask the question and answer it, that's the kind of content that is informative for your prospects. It helps to build trust in the moment when they visit your website. And so that's what I mean by content is the connective tissue between you and your prospect in that moment. We all do this when we go to people's websites, and we can tell a professional website from a brochure website where there's some good information up there about what they do. Maybe there's some topics around what they do so that they can explain in more detail how they work with their clients that they have, or just thought leadership around what it is that they offer to their clients and how they do it differently. So these are the reasons why content marketing is important. All right, so let's jump in here. What I'd like to do is I'd like to create some content for you guys using our platform called Composer. Composer is it's an AI generative content marketing platform. And what we do is we combine AI with people. We have a team of people that creates the content, edits the content, and publishes it to our clients' websites. And we also promote those social posts through social media. And we drive social media traffic back to your website because that's where people are hanging out, right? So marketing is a game of go fishing where the fish are, I always say. So you got to create content in social so that you can drive traffic back to your website. Marketing is also a game of educating your prospects, right? So marketing is education these days. And that's why content is so important, is because people are looking for answers. So when you are providing insights about your business, then you're providing a good customer experience. People say, you know your stuff. I'm gonna reach out to you and become a new lead for your business. Or maybe I want to refer people to your business because you're doing a good job of demonstrating what you do, and people get a good customer experience out of that. So either way, the content is at the core of all of that stuff. So what we're going to do today is we're going to create some content for everybody. Not everybody, but we'll create some content for a few people here on the call. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. So here's Knit Me, Sew Me. Great, kind of overview of what you do. I love that you're showcasing your products here. One thing that I want to just start out right out of the gate here, this is like SEO stuff. This is called your title tag. When you mouse over the tab here, Knit Me, Sew Me, Knit, California, USA. Okay, great. So what you're doing is you're telling Google here in this moment who you are and what you do. This is an opportunity to create a description of your business using keywords that are relevant for your business so that Google knows where to place you. So quick feedback here. I would rewrite this title tag to maybe, if, custom baby blankets is like a big thing for you, I would actually put it right here and say custom baby blankets or, knitting handcrafted products. If that's what you do, I would put it here. And then this is called an H1 tag. This is your headline of what you do. And you want to use a keyword here that you want to rank for on Google. So those are a couple of quick SEO tips. There's a lot to SEO, but just kind of give you an idea there. And hi, Elise, good to see you there. So, a good kind of flyby around your website and what you do. You've got your blog here, which is great. And what we can do is help you create, more blog content through this and cute products you got here. It's really sweet. And I love that you have a blog and you're doing this. So, here's your guide. Here's a video. Good for you. This is great. Good job putting this up here. What I would also recommend is taking the content that you covered here in your video and including it onto this page so that when Google crawls the page, they say, oh, here's the video and here's a blog post that's relevant to this topic. And then Google will know how to place you in their index a little bit better. So that might be a quick little tip for you. But generally speaking, I like what you're doing here. You're putting up some blog posts here. Looks like you're publishing once a month or so. You got July, June here, May. I'd recommend publishing more frequently. The more frequently you publish, the more Google indexes that content and knows where to place you in their index. So a couple of tips for you there. We'll just keep going through a few of these, and then we'll create some content. So, okay, great. So collagen skincare here, and looks like some supplements. Wonderful. What I would do is I would have a headline. So this headline here, this is an image. Google can't read this. So, what I would do is I would change this actually to HTML because they don't know how to read that. See, so this is text right here. So instead of saying commitment quality, what I might say is include a keyword that you want to rank for here on your website. And then, you've got, so I would recommend having a blog on your website and talk about the benefits of what you do on the website here. Just kind of flying by to a couple of others here. So apartment locator in Plano, Texas. Great. So find apartments in Plano, Texas. Looks like you got a SoundCloud podcast here. What I would do is I would talk a little bit more about what you do and the problem that you solve. This is good here. If the keyword that people are searching for is apartment locator, then I would say that's great. I don't know if that is, but I would suggest doing a little keyword research here and find, maybe it's apartments in Plano, Texas that people are looking for, in which case I would change apartment locator to apartments in Plano, Texas. And similarly up here, apartment locator. So maybe apartments in Plano, Texas in this regard. And then also I would add a blog so that you can have more, a place where you can create more content there. So hopefully this is helpful feedback just to kind of see some of the trends. So here, this is your headline. You want Google to rank you for keywords that are relevant to your business. So maybe less on the branding side and more on this is the problem I solve as a headline here. I like that you have your contact information there. Certainly, some information about what you do. So it looks like you got a blog here as well. Oh, I got to log into your blog. I would change that for sure and do that so that you don't have to log in to read your blog. And then, last one here that we'll check out. So the insurance network here, quality insurance for business and people. That's great. So tells you very plainly what you do. In the title tag here, licensed insurance agency in Lombard, Illinois. Wonderful. That is good stuff. Whoever's website this is, hats off to you so far on this. And you're telling people what you do, what differentiates you. Is there a blog up here? Don't really see one yet, but maybe it's in the footer. So good website so far. I would add a blog to this because there's a lot as an insurance agent that you can write about. And I also like this too. I was actually just in Chicago coincidentally last week. From Chicago, love Chicago. Go Cubbies. All right, so let's take this website and we'll write some content for you. And what I'm going to do is first we're going to look at a tool that we use. It's an SEO tool called Ahref. And what we'll look at is essentially what Google looks at when they crawl your website. And what we're looking at here are a few things. One is your domain reputation. This is how Google looks at your website. They go, how trustworthy is your website? They look for what's called the EEAT, the expertise, experience, authority, and trust. EEAT, expertise, experience, authority, and trust. Those are the guidelines for SEO. That's what Google looks for. That's how they say, we want to promote websites that abide by these guidelines. And when people do that, they have a great experience. So they always want to deliver a great experience. So the domain reputation, this looks like a relatively new website. Looks like you could benefit from getting some traffic here. You've got some backlinks that are coming in, which is good. That's coming from 10 different domains. And it looks like you're ranking for 10 keywords here. What I'm going to do is say that you are looking, so these are great services here, right? So let's do workers' comp insurance in Chicago. Let's just say that. So now I want to do a little keyword research. And what I'm going to do is go to our tool here and say workers' comp insurance plan, right? And what we'll do is we'll find several different keywords that are relevant to that topic. And we're going to look at the keyword volume here. What we typically look for is, so now here are 20 keywords. We're looking for keywords that meet 3 criteria. The first criteria is, does it have an intent to purchase, right? So these are our keywords. And then does it have search volume? This is our monthly search volume for these keywords because we're going to invest in content. We want to make sure that we're picking keywords that have content here. That have search volume. Okay, so search volume is important. So it has to have intent for one. It has to have search volume. This is 1,200 searches a month, 1,800 searches a month. And then this is called KD. This is the keyword difficulty. How competitive are these search terms? You're not going to climb Everest in day one. So you want to pick keywords that are less competitive than the others. So workers' compensation, insurance cost. That's a good keyword. It has KD is a scale from 1 to 100. It's a logarithmic scale. So going from 18 to 19 is much easier than going from 64 to 65, for example. So, affordable workers' comp insurance. This is a great keyword. There are 300 searches a month, and it's a KD of 18. So you kind of see we use this data-driven approach to be able to pick what keywords we're going to target and then what content that we're going to write about those keywords. Is that making sense for everybody? Right? The idea is not to just write content. The idea is to write content that fits these 3 criteria. And again, the criteria are, it has to have purchase intent. Are they looking for a solution to buy? It's not just workers' comp. That's not a keyword that we want to target because it's overly broad. But affordable workers' comp insurance, that's intent. People are looking for a solution with that. So that meets that first criteria. The second criteria, it has to have search volume. 300 searches a month is a good search volume that I would put on the list. And it has to have a keyword difficulty, I would say, of under 20 to start. So 18 is under 20. It meets those 3 criteria. I would put this on the list. Also, this is a mind blower, but if you were to buy this from if you buy ads on a click basis, each click is $25. So if you go to Google Ads and you buy this keyword to drive traffic to your website, you're going to pay $25 each time somebody clicks to go to your website. So it's a much better investment to create content to rank organically for these search terms so that you can get that quality traffic coming to your website because you created content around this. All right, so now we're going to take this and we're going to go ahead and we're going to create some content now for this website here. Whoever posted this, if you could please unmute yourself so we can just have a conversation. What I'll do is I'm going to sign you up and whoops, here, I'll get you started here with your URL. Here, let me put the URL here. And we'll just get you signed up in Composer.
Hey, Andy, this is Bill Worley. This is my website.
Hey, Bill, good to see you. Thank you
Nice
for,
seeing you. The name, company name,
yeah.
you have to take the INS out of the first part.
Oh, I got you. Okay, cool.
Okay,
You got it.
thanks.
Yep, great. Okay, cool. Yeah, that makes sense. That's insurance. Okay, cool. So what we're gonna do here, Bill, is we're gonna onboard you as a company. Okay, great. So, okay, good. So now, Bill, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in here, and this is a new account. Obviously, we haven't written any content, but we entered your URL and we created a company summary here. So I'll just show you. What the AI did in that moment is we're training the AI on your brand voice. So here's a company summary of who you are, Lombard, Lake Zurich, Illinois, right? So summary of who you are. These are the services that you offer. And this is a summary of who your ideal customer profile is. So Composer just did that in a second. And the reason why we do this is because we want to build your brand voice on the one hand. And on the other hand, we want to know who we're talking to when we create content. So this is your ideal customer profile here. So this now becomes the basis for creating content. And so now what Composer will do is it'll suggest several different topics that we can write content about. And you can see this is an endless stream of ideas.
Yeah,
We cluster them into all of these different categories, but each one of these categories has, 37 topics, for example, right? So we can write about all these things in each one of these categories. So rather than going one by one in each one of these, let's create some content around understanding workers' compensation, right? So let's just, we'll write an article by clicking on that. And now what we're doing is we're training the AI to build a piece of content using this kind of breadcrumb approach where we learn about your website. Now we say we're going to write content about this keyword, and we go ahead and let's say we're going to write a blog post here. So we'll write a blog post. This will just take a second. We're going to go ahead and Composer will suggest several headline ideas. Workers' compensation demystified, what every business owner should know. Let's start with that. We've got several other ideas, but let's go ahead with this as our
all right.
right. It's a good topic. Everybody needs to know about this. And then, here's the theme of the article. So highlight key regulations and essential steps for effective workers' compensation management, explain common misconceptions to provide actionable tips for business owners, or detail the financial and legal impacts of worker compensation for small businesses. So is there one of these, Bill, that you want to dig into?
Probably the financial and legal impacts for small business.
Okay, great. Done. So now what Composer will do is it'll take these building blocks along with your brand profile and your ideal customer profile, and it'll create a summary of this is your outline to create content about this particular topic, right? And so what I'm going to throw in a couple of other things here that will just drop in. So we'll say promote as the leader in workers' comp insurance in the Chicago area. Right, we'll do it like that. Area. And we'll also say create a call to action to drive visitors to that website. So we'll just include a couple of these personalization aspects into the outline before we write the article. So just take a second and it'll beef up the outline a little bit. And just like that, we've got the magic starts to happen. Here's World Insurance here and so forth, right? So positioning World Insurance to go further and so forth. And then there's our call to action. So great. So now we've got our good outline. It's a little more beefed up. And now we pick our writer persona. And our writer persona is really the tone of the article. We're going to go ahead and pick the SEO specialist, but we could pick a technologist or financial analyst, entrepreneur, marketing manager, lifestyle luminary. We'll go with the SEO specialist for the purposes of the demo here. And now Composer will simply just start writing your article about what you need to learn about with workers' comp. And so this is how AI can help you accelerate your content marketing efforts. Composer, what we do is we have humans, people, you have an account manager with us who actually does this for you. And your account manager will project manage your content marketing, will write the content for you, will edit the content, and then we send it to you so that you can approve a piece of content. And then when you approve it, we publish it to your website and we promote it through your social channels. And so that's essentially what we do. You can see it's a well-written article right out of the gate, promotes the business here, and helps tell your company story. This is what I mentioned at the top of the conversation here, highlights what you need to know, and at the bottom here, drives the visitor back to your website. So this article is a 747 word article. These are the building blocks that we just did for, so we chose the SEO specialist. The target keyword is understanding workers' compensation. And the narrative focus is detail the financial legal impacts of workers' compensation for small businesses. So a great way to be able to just quickly write some content that's going to be useful for your customers and publish it to your website. Now, the next thing I'm going to do, what I'm doing now here is I'm creating a social post that will promote this article. So we just wrote the article, and now just like that, we've got a social post right here that promotes the article. So we publish the article to your website, then we grab a link to the article, and we publish this to your Facebook or your LinkedIn and your Twitter account, Instagram, Google Business, right? So the idea here is now we can write content, publish it to your website, write a social post, publish it to your social media, and drive traffic from social to your website. And so that's essentially, I know we're just about a time here. I kind of hurried through that, but I did want to get your thoughts on and answer any questions that y'all might have.
Andy, can you put the info on more than one social website, like LinkedIn?
Absolutely. So you can publish to LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter,
Yeah.
Google Business. So we do that all for you. And that way, this helps to promote your business. All this kind of stuff is going to help you tell your company story, inform and educate your prospects. And when you do that, you build trust with your prospects. People buy from those that they trust, right? So that's the reason why you want to create this kind of content, and we'll help you do this. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a beautiful Friday and a great weekend. And if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to us. Okay. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.